Hey, xin chào các bạn. So today we're going to make a chicken katsu curry, which is chicken cutlet with a curry sauce on rice. So it's a Japanese dish, and although it is a very familiar thing to many of you, I have my own way of making it, and you will learn some tricks on the way as well. So if you're ready, let's go. So we start by preparing the curry powder. So over here I have chili powder, turmeric, garlic powder, cumin, and black pepper. Japanese curry usually isn't very spicy, but because I like spice, so I put a lot more chili powder than what is necessary. So right here I'm just preparing a marinade for the chicken. So there's a clove of garlic, some ginger, and I want to mince it up really finely. After that, put it into a bowl, add some soy sauce, and mix it well together. So for the katsu, I'm going to use chicken breast, and so I'm going to butterfly it because parts of the chicken breast is a lot thicker, and so by cutting in half like this or butterflying it, you are able to have a piece of chicken that's going to cook more evenly. So once I've cut it in half, butterflied it, now I'm just going to coat it in the marinade and just leave it for as long as you want. The longer the better, of course. Over here I'm preparing onions for the curry. So I have found red onion. This is very common in Singapore, but not really in Hanoi. So what we're going to do is you're just going to cut it into slices, just like that, and we're ready to make the roux. So making a traditional roux takes a really long time, but I found a cheat. So here we go. So the first thing is I'm just going to add some flour into a pan, and I'm just going to toast the flour until it's brown, just like that. But you got to be careful, and you got to stir it constantly because parts of flour that stick at the bottom of the pan are going to burn. So make sure you toast it and stir it constantly until you get a nice dark brown flour like this. Don't worry about the clumps that you see, we're going to fix that in a moment. So to start my untraditional Japanese curry, first thing I'm going to do is just put some oil in a saucepan, and then I'm going to fry the onions till they're soft. Next, I'm going to add some water and a little bit of chicken powder. Trust me, you need chicken powder. MSG, good. So now put the rest of your powdered ingredients for the curry powder into the curry. And just let this boil for a little bit while we prepare the roux. So now we're going to prepare the rest of the roux. So what you see here is me putting the flour into a sieve, and I'm just going to sieve out the clumps. And after the clumps have been sieved out, I'm just going to add some milk. Because I ran out of butter at home, so I can't fry the roux in butter. So using milk actually is a pretty good substitute for this particular curry, interestingly enough. So after you add the milk, just make sure you stir it up really well to make sure that there are no clumps left in this roux. And we're off to put the roux into the curry next. So what I'm doing here is I'm tempering the roux, meaning I'm bringing the temperature of the roux up so that it doesn't curdle when I put it into the curry. So what I do here is just take a couple of ladles of the hot curry and put it into the roux, mix it up together, and then I would add the roux in slowly with constant stirring as well. If you don't stir the roux, it's going to clump up. So because I didn't add much salt into the curry, I decided to add a little bit of soy sauce into it. So now that your roux has been added and your curry is looking nice and smooth, just keep it on a boil for a little while we prepare the rest of the chicken. So now we're going to just prepare some breading for the katsu, and so what you see here is potato starch. So I'm just going to take the cutlet out and just going to coat it with the flour. After that, I'm going to beat an egg into the leftover marinade. Waste not, want not. So now that the chicken breast has been coated with the egg mixture, I'm going to put it back onto the plate with the flour. I know it's a bit messy, but you know, I'm a guy, it's fine. With panko or Japanese breadcrumbs, and I'm going to coat it generously as much as I can. So from here you can tell I didn't put enough, so I'm just adding a little bit more. So for the katsu, I'm gonna do a shallow fry, not a deep fry, because I don't want to waste oil. So to tell whether your oil is ready, just put your chopstick into the oil and bubbles should appear, and just pan fry the chicken breast. When you pan fry the chicken breast, just leave it alone on one side for a couple of minutes until you see the sides of the chicken turning white. Then flip it over and allow it to continue to cook for a couple of minutes. Don't be fooled by the golden brown color. The only way to check whether the chicken is actually cooked is by pressing the chicken. If the chicken is still soft, then it's not cooked. You have to wait till it's just slightly firm. That's the only way that you can tell whether the chicken is actually cooked without cutting into it. So once both sides are pretty okay, what you want to do is just flip it over 1 or 2 more times, making sure that all sides of the chicken cutlet are evenly browned, and then just put it onto a plate of rice. So with the egg mixture, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to waste it, so I'm just going to deep fry it into little ribbons. This is actually very common in a dish we find in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia called tahu telur, which is egg tofu. And so what they do is they actually pour the egg into really hot oil and allow it to fry and turn into really crispy ribbons like what you see here. So my dinner is almost ready. I'm just going to put it all together. As you can tell, the curry is thickened up a little bit as it cooled. So I'm just going to spoon the curry over the rice and some of the cutlet. And I'm just going to put the leftover egg on top. This crispy egg thing isn't very Japanese, but you know, I didn't want to waste any of my food. And now it's done.
Okay, we're back. And so if that was a lot of work, well, you want to eat something nice, you gotta put in the work. I know this egg thing is not really meant to be on top, but I just wanted to eat this crispy egg that we have in Singapore. It's usually with something called tahu telur or egg tofu. So since there was leftover egg, I just decided to make that. So let's give this a try. That's the cutlet with the sauce and a little bit of egg. A lot of egg. Well. Perfect. Very good. Alright, no more talking. This is a one man's dish. You want to give it a try? Just go for it, okay? Alright, see you guys. Yeah, bye-bye.